Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we will read from Bhagavad GITA 11, chapter 11, bab 11, verse 54, sloka 54. Yeah. You have, yeah? You find verse? Yeah, 11.54. Bhaktya Tvi Ananyaya Sakya Aham Evam Vidho Arjuna Gyatum Drastum Cha Tatvena Pravestum Cha Parantapa Bhaktya Tviyananya Sakya Bhaktya Tvananya Sakya Aham Eva Vidurjuna Aham evam vidurjuna Gyatum drastum cha tatvena Gyatum drastum cha tatvena Pravestam cha parantapa Pravestum cha parantapa Bhakta tvanyanya sakya Bhaktya tva ananyaya sakya Aham evam vidurjuna Aham evam vidurjuna Gyatum drastum cha tatvena Gyatum drastum cha tatvena Pravestum cha parantapa Bhaktya tva ananya sakya Aham evam vidurjuna Yatum drastum cha tatvena Pravestum cha parantapa Bhaktya tviyananya sakya Aham evam vidurjuna Drastum trastum cha tatvena Pravestum cha parantapa. Mataji? Ayolah, jangan malu-malu. Bhaktva tvananya sakya Angevam vidurjuna Gyatum swastum cha tatvena Pravestum cha parantapa Bhakta tvi ananya sakya Aham evam vidurjuna Yatum tastum chatvatvena Pravestum cha parantapa. Yeah, try. Bhaktya tviyananya sakya Aham evam vidurjuna Drastum chatvatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Cannot? What? Okay, no one? Bhaktya by devotional service. To but ananyaya without being fixed with productive activities or speculative knowledge.
Without being mixed with fruitive activities or speculative knowledge.
Sakya possible. Aham I. Evam Vida. Yeah. Aham evam Vida. Like this. Arjuna. O Arjuna. Gyatum. To know. Drastum. To see. Cha. And. Tatvena. In fact. Pravestum. To enter into. Cha. Also. Parantapa. O subduer of the enemy. So, the translation. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mystery of my understanding. Now we can repeat together. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mystery of my understanding. So here Krishna was openly said to Arjuna that if we want to enter in the mystery of understanding Krishna as Krishna, yeah, not as Brahman or not as Paramatma, but as Krishna was standing in front of Arjuna. Yeah? So this only can be possible by undivided devotional service. That means by pure devotional service. Yeah. So before this, this is 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. This 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, by the request of Arjuna, then the Supreme Lord Krishna was showing this universal form. Yeah. We call Virat Rupa. Yeah. So when this Virat Rupa also showed by Krishna, anyone can remember? When this universal son of Krishna was showing by Krishna? Can anyone remember?
5,000 years ago.
Huh?
5,000 years ago.
No. It's to whom? To whom he showed this? Yeah, I meant to show to whom he showed this universal form. Yeah. Yes, now it's to Arjuna. Yeah. In this chapter of Bhagavad Gita, this Krishna shows to Arjuna. Before was also when he was a child. Remember? Now you remember? Yes. When Krishna eating earth, and Balaram said, "Oh, Ma, Krishna eating earth. Krishna eating earth. And then Mother Yasoda, oh, Krishna, are you eating earth? No, Mama, no, Mama. Open your mouth. Then when Krishna opened his mouth, Mother Yasoda see all the universe in the small mouth of Krishna. Yeah. So then Mother Yasoda become confused. What is this? This is something enter me like that. Yeah. So this is the first time. The second time also, when, but not totally. Yeah. When Krishna was sent by Pandava to be as a messenger to Duryodhana to Hastinapura to make peace. Yeah. And then Duryodhana tried to bind Krishna and to put Krishna in the jail like that. And then Krishna also shows his universal form, but not complete like this. Yeah. And then in this chapter especially, Arjuna requesting, actually for pure devotees, this universal form is not interesting for the devotee is not interesting to see this universal form. Yeah. So why Arjuna asking? This is for the people in this age of Kali. Many people will claim himself as the Supreme Lord, as incarnation. But if someone claim themselves as God, as Krishna or whatever, just ask him, can you show this universal form? Or lift up the Gordon or something like that, for 7 days, with the 7 days, 7 nights with little finger like that, So this is Krishna, This the request. Arjuna requesting that in the future, especially in the age of Kali, many people will claim themselves as God. Then have to be challenged. Can you show your universal form like that? So the first understanding here should be understood. And the second also here, when here in his purport, Srila Prabhupada said, the first one, Krishna can be understood only by the process of undivided personal service. This is very important word of Srila Prabhupada also in the verse. Krishna only can be understood by undivided devotional service. What it does mean? That means by pure bhakti. Bhakti also was divided into category. One is sadhana bhakti, one is raganuga bhakti, mean spontaneous love for Krishna. So in our stage now, in this present stage, we are not yet in the stage of raganuga bhakti. We are not spontaneously attracting to Krishna. Even to chanting Hare Krishna, we are not so attracted. Yes or not? How many already chanting every day? Already 16 rounds? Not yet? How many rounds every day chanting? 6. Why so little?
Studying first year.
Studying. Oh, yeah. Mataji, how many rounds chanting? Not yet? 8. Yes, good. Should be every month or every 2 months should be increased 2 round until 16 round. Because this is Krishna. Krishna's holy name is not different from Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Krishna is all attractive. Why we are not attractive to Krishna? Why we are not attractive to His holy name? Because we are not developed love yet. So therefore, Prabhupada teach us we have to follow this regulative principle, and also to worshipping deity like this. So here Prabhupada said, he explicitly explained this in this verse so that unauthorized commentators who try to understand Bhagavad Gita by speculative process will know that they are simply wasting their time. No one can understand Krishna or how he came from parent in four-handed form and at one change himself into two-handed form. These things are difficulties to understand by study of the Vedas or by the speculators. So here we have to understand that if we want to understand Krishna, we have to study from authoritative scriptures like Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and also from the devotee of the Supreme Lord. Yeah. When Krishna appears, first he appears in the four-handed form. Just to remind Vasudeva and Devaki, but in his previous life, he was meditation for thousands of years to get Lord Vishnu as his son. And Lord Vishnu appears then. He agreed to be appear as their son like that. So to make remembrance like that. And then after that he appears as Lord Vishnu to Narayanan and remind and then after that he gave instruction to Vasudeva, and he become a baby like that, baby Krishna, and gave instruction to Vasudeva to bring the baby Krishna to Gokul. But at the same time also in the Gokul also, Maria Yashoda also give birth to Krishna, the original personality of Godhead. Is Yashodanandana Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Vasudeva also is he appears in two different places like that. But when Vasudeva came there, he only see the male baby, and then put the Vasudeva Krishna. Then this Vasudeva Krishna, according to my Gurudev, Srila Gauraguna Maharaj, thus emerged to Yashodanandana Krishna. And then Vasudeva bring this baby. Actually this is also according to the opinion of some, this is the Yoga Maya. Also considers the Devaki, no, not Devaki, Subhadra was that, and then become Subhadra, because was brought by Vasudeva to prison of Kamsa, and then there when Kamsa take, she become Mahamaya, try to kill, then Mahamaya come out, but then as Yogamaya, then maybe enter into the womb of Devaki, or just like that he become Subhadra like that. This is some opinion is like that. So this is who can understand. So therefore was mentioned in chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Janma karma cha medium evam yaviti tatvata tyakto deham punarjanma naiti mamiti sarjuna. Whoever can understand my appearance and my activities, my appearance and disappearance in tattva, in truth, then after he leaving this body will come to me like that. So this is to be secret to be understood by us. So therefore then Arjuna was asking, pray to, because when Arjuna saw this universal form, he became very feared. And then he prayed to Lord Krishna to show his four-handed form, and then in this two form. like that. So for that, to see all these things, yeah, then Lord Krishna have to give him very special eye, yeah, means spiritual eye, to see all these things, to understand, yeah, that, yeah, finally to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not just like friend or some just like a member of the family or cousin brother, like that, yeah, but to give understanding to Arjuna that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this should be our understanding in that way. Yeah. So this is also to give the understanding to the those who are like to write many comment of Bhagavad Gita, explanation about Bhagavad Gita, but they not understand Krishna. They thinking Krishna is just like in one Bhagavad Gita was written by Indian sadhu something, yeah, that Krishna, yeah, actually the Supreme Personality of God is Brahman. In the Kurukshetra, Krishna was entered by this light of Brahman, then become enlightened into spiritual knowledge and can speak Bhagavad Gita like that. In Bali, they call Krauhan, yeah. Some spirit was enter and then become in trance and then speak many things like that. Yeah. So Krishna is, but for them, Krishna is like that. So when we have to understand this, yeah, what Krishna says here, yeah, that He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, to understand Him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was standing on the time in front of Arjuna only by what? By undivided devotional service, meant by pure devotional service. Yeah. So therefore, because our mind, our heart is not yet purified, so therefore Prabhupada give us this process of sadhana bhakti or Vaidhi bhakti. Yeah, like Prabhupada here said. Yeah. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that no one can see Him or enter into understanding of these matters. Those who, however, are very experienced students of literature can learn about Him from the Vedic literature in so many ways. So they have to learn. We have to learn from Vedic literature and or authorized Vedic literature especially. There are so many rules and regulations, and if one at all want to understand Krishna, he must follow the regulative principle described in the authoritative literature. So therefore, if we want to really understand Krishna, so therefore Prabhupada teach us how we have to follow this regulative principle. Yeah. One can perform penance in accordance with those principles. So when we are requested to follow many regulative principles, yeah, we have to follow also, yeah, some prescribed activities. Yeah, one can perform penance according to which we have to do some penance also. Yeah, one can perform penance, and for example, to undergo serious penance, yeah, one may observe fasting. So like we ask, yeah, for us, we have to go fasting for Janmashtami or appearance and this appearance of Acharya, yeah, for Ekadashi, like that. This all is regulative principle we are following in order to understand Krishna. Yeah. As far as charity, so now, yeah, this regulative principle was taught by Prabhupada. We have to wake up in the morning and doing Mangalarati and worshipping deity like that. This is, all was important for us to understanding, to purify our heart and mind, actually. So this is a great principle, and also we have to associating with devotees, and we have to surrender to spiritual master like that. And Guru will teach us how we can dedicate our life in the personal service. So all this thing was important for us. Like was what already we are practicing in this Krishna consciousness. So now the second, Prabhupada mentioned, as far as charity is concerned, this charity also is meant for our purification. Like that. But when we doing some job or some business like that, maybe we doing some fault or some mistake like that, and to purify our income like that, so we can purify by offering, by giving charity like that. It is explained that charity should be given to the devotees of Krishna who are engaged in his devotional service to spread the Krishna philosophy or Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So this, like Prabhupada, all his devotees give big charity, big money to Prabhupada, not for Prabhupada enjoyment, is to spread this Krishna consciousness. Like Ambarish Prabhu now dedicated his life to fulfill Prabhupada's desire to build this temple, planetarium. All his money from this what is this his car, Ford Foundation like that. All his money from that was dedicated to fulfill Prabhupada's desires. Also, we can give money also, offering donation to those devotees who are teach this Krishna consciousness to all over the world like that. This is the purpose of charity. It's a benediction of humanity. Lord Chaitanya was appreciated, Rupa Goswami, as the most munificent man of charity because love of Krishna, which is very difficult to achieve, was distributed freely by him. So if one gives some amount of his money to person involved in distributing Krishna consciousness, that charity given to spread Krishna consciousness is the greatest charity in the world. So this is very important. To give charity to Guru, to devotees who dedicated their life to preaching this Krishna consciousness. To print book like that. And if one worship as prescribed in the temple, that is a chance to progress by offering worship and respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the beginners in the personal service to the Lord, temple worship is essential. So therefore, Prabhupada, actually in this age, the only way to understand God or to purify ourselves is by chanting holy name. But why Prabhupada then adopting all this process, deity worship, make temple like that? Because we are not, our mind and heart are not yet purified. So therefore, we cannot yet chanting pure name like that. So this process is needed, to purify our senses, our mind, by doing the personal service, worshipping deity, kirtan, all this aspect of Krishna consciousness, devotional activities, service like that, is only for make to conditioning our mind and heart to be purified more quickly. Yeah. So after that, when our mind and senses purely purified, then we can possible also to chanting the holy name, pure name. Because chanting also there's three different stages. Yeah. First is the nama aparat. Yeah. Yeah. We chanting holy name with full with aparat because we have material desires and also sometimes negligent, not focused like that. Yeah. Even because holy name is non-different from Krishna, abhinatvam nama namina. Yeah, non-different from Krishna. So even in that stage, in that offensive stage, still get very good benefit. Will get dharma, artha, kama. Will get religiosity, yeah, and dharma, artha will get our financial or our rich become increased like that, yeah, and also dharma, artha, kama also, yeah, because my money, economic, our economic also the increase like that. So we can mostly the devotee enjoy more, yeah. We can more money coming, and we can buy car like that. Like our experience in Bali before, when in earlier time, yeah, 8 years on 8 years like that, only a few devotee they have car, yeah. But after some time they become more and more steady in Krishna consciousness. They become very rich now, like that. Yeah, have car, money, like that. So this is the Krishna's mercy, the holy name mercy. Yeah, and the second stage is we call namabas, like Ajamila is the example like that. Yeah, unconsciously just chanting holy name Narayana, just to call his son. Yeah, Narayana on the time of death like that. But because Narayana is the name of the Supreme Lord, and he was free from all sinful activity and got liberation. Yeah, even the second stage, in the namabas like that, or one already get the liberation. Yeah, but after he understood that. Unwillingly, he chanting holy names, he gets so much, got liberation like that. And then he understood, if I chanting this holy name purely, without any desires or like that, what will I achieve like that? And then he leave house and go to Haridwar and associating with devotees and take initiation there. And then after some time he chanting pure name, and then go back home back to Godhead, like that. Yeah. So because pure name, after what is anamabas, then pure name. When our mind, our heart was totally purified, by the process of sadhana bhakti, then automatically we will develop eagerness, or spontaneous love, to doing this devotional service. That we call raga nuga bhakti. Spontaneous love for Krishna, without following any rule and regulation, because he has love from his heart. This is called Krishna Prema Bhakti. So this is the different stage of chanting, or development of Krishna consciousness, so like that. So this should be understood in different way. So here, Prabhupada quoted from Shweta Upanishad, Yasha deve parabhaktir yata deve tata guru ta saite katita hiyarta prakasante mahatmana. One who has unflinching devotion to the Supreme Lord and is directed by the spiritual master in whom he has similar unflinching faith, can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead by revelation. Yeah. So this first time was taught by Srimad Bhakti Swarup Damodar Goswami Maharaj when he came to Bali after Srila Gurudev, and teach always singing this verse. Yasya Devi Parabhaktir Yata Devi Tata Guru Tasya Haite Katita Hiyarta Prakasante Mahatmana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. So by the order or by guidance of Guru, yeah, we have unflinching devotion to Supreme Lord Krishna, and also this unflinching devotion also, yeah, we dedicated to Guru. Yeah, by this unflinching devotion to Guru and Krishna, then all this, yeah, Guru and Krishna will reveal all this spiritual knowledge, and also Krishna will reveal himself to that devotees like that. So this is the secret. Yeah. The personal form of Krishna, two-handed form, and the four-handed are described as Sudur Darsam. It's very difficult to see or to understand. Yeah, very difficult to see. Yeah, not everyone can see this. Yeah, they completely different from the temporary universal form shown to Arjuna. Yeah, this universal form is even for us, the universal form also very difficult for us. What to speak to see this form of four-handed form, or to understand Krishna like that. So only by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are following this mission, this Krishna consciousness. Yeah, he was given the greatest chance to understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, this is, yeah, the word Anyena na Dishta Purvam state that before Arjuna, no one had seen that universal form. Also, this suggests that among the devotees, there was no necessity of showing it. Yeah, it's also among devotees, Krishna is no need to showing that, because like Madhyasada is not interesting to see this universal form of Krishna, and he thinking that, oh, something bad thing was enter my mind like that. Even the devotees, like the gopis, when Krishna disappeared in this rasa dance, yeah, and then after the searching, then in the middle of the forest, he saw that Krishna in the four-handed form. And all the gopis just pray, offering obeisances, then just, oh, Lord Narayan is here. Yeah, then he paying respect, and then he knows they are not interesting then they just continue to searching Krishna like that. Yeah, but when Srimati Radharani came to that, in front of that form of Narayana, this form of Narayana cannot remain, and then he just become Krishna like that. Yeah. So this means that as a devotee also not interested to see this form, yeah, of the form of Narayana like that, yeah. And because pure devotee only want to see the Supreme Lord Krishna, yeah. That form was exhibited by Krishna by the request of Arjuna, so that in the future, when one represents himself as an incarnation of God, people can ask His universal form, like already I explained before. This is the plan of Arjuna, so that especially in this age of Kali, many people claim them as a god. Yeah, even during the time of Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jagannath Puri, yeah, one man was claimed himself as Lord Vishnu. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur understood this is only cheating people. Yeah. Then he sent police to catch them, but he used his power, magic power, and make the police become sick or almost die like that. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur personally came that they bring some people and catch this. His name I'm not remember, and then put in the jail like that. And after some time, he was die in the jail. And he tried also to influence the member or the family of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And after he put in the jail, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur wife asking, "This is Supreme God. Don't you put them in the jail? They will create problem for us like that." And then that night also, his wife, children, they vomiting like that. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur confident, no, he is only what is affects God. Yeah, just continuously chanting Hare Krishna, everything will be okay like that. And then all they following Bhaktivinoda Thakur instruction, then they sleep. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked the people to cut his head, and then after that he was dying. Yeah. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur see this kind of people who are claim is God like that. This will be happen in this age of Kali. Krishna changed the universal form to four-handed form of Narayana, and at the end he saw his own natural form of two hands. This indicates that the four-handed form, yeah, this indicates that this all the universal form, four-handed form, all is expansion of Krishna. Not that Krishna is the expansion of manifestation of the universal form or four-handed form, and then Krishna then coming from that. Yeah, Krishna is the supreme. All this other form is coming from Krishna. This should be our understanding. Yeah. He's the origin of emanation. So everything come, like in Bhagavad Gita also said, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Everything emanate from me like that. Yeah. In the Brahma Samhita also, yeah. Yasaikani swatakala mata valamya jivanti loma vilaja jaganatanata Vishnur mahansa ihayasya kala viseso Govindamadi purusam tamaham bhajami. The Mahavishnu, into whom the all innumerable universes enter, and from whom they come forth again simply by his breathing process, is a plenary portion, expansion of Krishna. Therefore, I worship Govinda, Krishna, as cause of all causes. So therefore, in Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma said, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. So, Brahma said, this from Brahma Samhita, Krishna is, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Ishvara means the organizer or the ruling. Among all the ruler, Krishna is the highest. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Parama means the highest. Anadir Adir Govinda. He's Anadi. Means Yeah. He's the first one. No beginning of Krishna. Krishna is the beginning of everything. Anadi means no one is come before Krishna. Yeah. Adir Govinda. Govinda, yeah, Krishna as Govinda is Anadi. He's the first. Anadi. Sarva Karana Karanam. He's the cause of all causes. So this is the version of opinion of Lord Brahma. Yeah. Therefore, one should conclusively worship the personal form of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has eternal bliss and knowledge. So, we in Krishna consciousness worship the Supreme Lord Krishna, Radha Krishna, as the topmost of our worship. By the guidance of Srila Prabhupada, we do this. And also, why also we have to worship Mahaprabhu? Because without the mercy of Mahaprabhu, we cannot approach Radha Krishna in this age of Kali. Because Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna. His combined form of Radha and Krishna is become Mahaprabhu. So, by his mercy, make this process of Krishna consciousness more simple. Actually, just by worshipping Mahaprabhu, also we already worship Radha Krishna. But because Mahaprabhu appears as a devotee, and he teaches us how to worship Radha Krishna, by what? By chanting Hare Krishna. See, this is the most important for us. Just by chanting Hare Krishna nicely, if we can chanting pure name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then we will, get Krishna in this life. So therefore, very important for us to understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also following this process of Krishna consciousness, as enunciated by Srila Prabhupada, also in all temple, all center of ISKCON like that, we following all this process nicely. And by that, by following this sadhana bhakti, in YD Bhakti, they call also YD Bhakti. We following the process with following the rule and regulation. After all this mind, heart, everything was purified. There is step also from Adusrada, Tada Sadhusanga, and Bhajana Kriya. When we are fully following this process of Bhajana Kriya nicely under the guidance of Guru, then all anarthas, all unwanted thing was cleared up. Then we attain the stage of anartha nivritti. After anartha nivritti, then we become nistha. Nistha means become steady. Because mind and heart more and more purified. And after nistha is ruchi. Ruchi means we get taste. And then ruchi asakti. Asakti means we develop eagerness to more, to more and more doing spontaneously. We doing all this process, all this service like that. And this is process of purification. Then asakti and bhava, and then prema. When we get prema, that means by that prema we can keep Krishna in our heart like that. So this is the process. So we have to follow this Krishna consciousness nicely under the guidance of our Guru, Sadhu Guru Vaishnava, always in most the important process also in this personal service, we have to always in the association of pure devotees, Sadhu Sangha. So this is the most important in our process. When we are following all these things nicely, then we will achieve the goal of our life. to go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah, this is the teaching of Prabhupada. Give all example to attain this the process of Krishna consciousness to bring us to go back home, back to Godhead, like that. Yeah. Okay, we will end here. Yeah, this is only nearly 9 o'clock.